Everybody.
Gary B, sit down. You're the only one that's gonna start up here. We're gonna call you up. But you can sit there if you want. That's fine.
Alex, you're gonna end up front too.
The eyes looking good. Couldn't even tell in the photos.
Oh, this weekend?
Yeah.
My husband went to town.
I don't think it's.
I have a black eye. Got it. I think that should be my grateful because she sent me a picture. She hit herself with the. Are you?
Really?
Black eye happened in pickleball. It was so violent.
Oh, yeah.
That's like something I do.
As usual, let's do. All right, let's do bucket fills and what's good.
Oh, so.
All the things. Mhm.
5 seconds. No, it's like.
I know. We had a great turnout for our gumbo open last weekend, which was awesome. It's one of our favorite client events, so that was great. And I have
Zoom out to 0.5.
It's really fun
Yeah.
happening. I don't know if I've done that
Yeah.
for a long time.
When it's finals and I have no idea.
Good over there to share with us. Share with all of us. What's good? What's good?
Rounding.
Oh, yeah.
Just kidding, but you should talk about it. We're learning how to sleep better.
I have no idea.
Do you have a grounding sheet there?
No,
Grounding
sleep
sheet.
better. Not
The grounding sheet.
We did.
I got one.
Okay, they're not in control yet. What else? What else? Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Know what is going on with TV patterns over there and office currently, but any other bucket fill? Candy, we got a bucket. But we were all gone essentially for family reunion and she held down the fort. Well, at least as far as I know, nothing burned down. We're still here. Everyone is happy. So we're grateful for that. We're grateful for that for sure. All right, moving on. Ooh, this is Candy's thing. Okay, so we've got some CE that's happening 10 a.m. on April 8th. We also have CE on April 15th. If I hear anyone not having their CE done, if I can get it done before the end of January, and I've been in this business for 16 years, lost my license once because I didn't do CE. We've had so much free CE, you guys, and it's in office. So it's one where like, all you gotta do is sign up. You don't have to pay anything. It's convenient. We should be able to have it all done prior to June. So Wednesday, April 15th, we have some CE. And then and that's actually by the property investigations. I think everybody loved that one last time because he like got into the nitty gritty of some different things. All right, next. Charity of the month. What is this? Oh, interfaith outreach. Does Candy want to talk about this? Because I don't know what I'm supposed to talk about on this one. That's you.
And you know what? It's March, so this will be probably our last week of doing this. So,
Okay.
yes, but you can still donate to IOCP. They do rental assistance for people right now. When you click on that link, that's on our Facebook page. We can also send this out again. You do want to put in emergency financial assistance in the comments so they know what your donation is going towards. We're also still collecting items in our office with donations as well. So
Awesome. Okay, so we do have March 4th. We are going to start having the luxury call. So it is the head of international luxury that will be here. It's 10 to 11, right? What day of the week is that?
Tomorrow.
That's a Wednesday. So it's going to be every Wednesday. Every day of the month will be that. So again, we're going to start running that. We would love your feedback on it because we've heard great things of other people that have went on to the Zoom call, but also being in here, you can chat and talk about what Brady's also talking about. So tomorrow at 10 a.m. Book club, we have that on March 18th, 11 to 12. think, like a monk by the way, hearing him in person was the most amazing thing ever. And if you guys actually read the newsletter I sent out the other day, he also had something with Matthew McConaughey, which is just another amazing human being. I listened to all hour and a half of that, I think twice. There was some really great nuggets, just mindset wise in those. So, if you're reading this, we have the book club on March 18th. Okay, so then we have Brett Tanner coming for a wealth workshop. Derek is not in here, I don't see, but Derek is actually part of his wealth community and says nothing but great things just in regards to every mastermind he's went to. This is something I highly recommend you going to. And if you're like, you know what, I'm not building my wealth, we should talk because that's what we should be doing every single day. Also, being in real estate, you're helping other people build their wealth, right? So this is a great workshop just to get perspective from someone who talks to some of the wealthiest people in the country, quite honestly. I mean, some of the conversations that they have and he has at a high-minded level is absolutely amazing. But this is going to be a ton of great information. So go ahead, QR code there is for the sign up. I do know that space is limited for this because it's a all region event. So be sure to get signed up for that kind of as soon as possible. All right, before we do our ahas and takeaways, I have a special announcement. You guys got 3 emails from me in like 4 days. You never get that many emails from me, by the way. But I sent out an email last night. Who received it? Who read it? Okay, some of you didn't see it. If you didn't get it, I want to introduce our new broker, Matt Brady. You guys have probably he looks at all of your files, so when you don't have a net sheet, he is sending that right back. But now he's going to be our full new broker. So you want to come up and say like a few words or anything? I could go over your questions that I asked you.
Oh, yeah. You like those?
I do.
Yeah, I had to share those with my wife. I was like, those are interesting questions.
Well, you know, I'm
Yeah.
kind of an interesting person.
Yeah. No, grateful to be here. I know some of you I haven't met yet. And like Kimi just said, I look at all the paperwork. I look at your contracts and those kinds of things. But moving forward from today on, if you have a question, feel free to give me a call. I tell a lot of people that if I don't answer right away, I'm either on the phone with somebody else or I'm in a meeting. I have a goal to actually get back to you within about 10 to 15 minutes. So got a pretty good track record from the people that I work with and take calls as far as in Edina and Elk River. And many of you know John Butler. I've been working with John Butler since basically 2003. So I've been doing this for a while, yet I'm always learning as well. So when you call me, you're actually going to help me. So it's going to be one of those things where you help me and I help you in return. But we'll do more later because I know I want to hear from the panel, the group up here. But again, don't hesitate to reach out. And then I'll be reaching out too. I do a couple of different things. One of the things that I do is a Friday Fact video that I'll begin sending out to all of you. It goes on to the Facebook group page here, right?
Yeah, we do.
And so we'll do some of those things. And there's just oftentimes a call during the week that comes up. That's a great call to use as kind of a lead-in education moment. So I'll be doing that. And I also do some training for newer agents first Tuesday of the month. And so we'll go through all of that as we kind of get our feet wet and get to know one another. Cool?
Matt Brady. So when that email comes through, Matt Brady. All right, everyone from Family Reunion, come on up here. I think we have enough chairs, maybe.
Yeah, we'll grab more.
Well,
Don't know how many people are gonna be here.
Okay. Here's one.
Keep one down there. I'll bring this one down here.
Next year, I just don't even want a panel. I just want the whole room there. Like, how about that? All right, so the reason we do this panel is, one, we all take different things from the speakers. There's also a ton of different breakouts. So I think we all probably have some things that are similar and some things that are not. So who wants to start with any of your ahas? Who wants to start? All right.
So, my biggest aha is, and I'm guilty of it, is there is a people out there that just love to scroll. They scroll, they scroll, they scroll, they scroll, but they don't post anything. And I think we all get into that, that slump where you don't have the content or whatever. But it's so important to be authentic and just post, even if it's not pretty, even if it's not perfect. You just have to be a human being and post.
Are you identifying as a scroller?
I am definitely a scroller. I'm not.
Awesome.
I'll piggyback off that. My wife is also a professional.
Why I don't
That-
post.
That she,
Yes.
sometimes a text takes 20 minutes. And that's what she's more authentic and just,
So I have hired 3 different people to help me not be a perfectionist.
There you go. Steps forward. I love it. I love it. All right, what else? What else we got?
I also want to say our speakers were so phenomenal. Jay Shetty, Giselle Ugarte.
Yep.
Who's the word one?
Don.
Don Miller. It was like information overload. If you ever get a chance to go to family reunion, it was so amazing, and it just really sparks fire under you, whether you have it or not.
The lineup was fantastic,
Yeah.
like absolutely fantastic.
And just
Yeah.
even going on a trip with all of these people. I mean, usually when you go on a trip with multiple people, there's drama, there's issues, there's people want to do something one time and whatever. It was just so seamless. And we were all there.
Split.
Amy's a huge hoot when you get her out of the office.
And to know that we're all there for one goal, and that's to grow our business and to get better. And yeah, it was just amazing.
For Gary Keller to put the time and effort into this and make the connections that he makes to get these speakers. There's speakers that we're getting that only speak a few times a year, and we're getting them. And that's a huge statement to a company that Gary is and what he, for him to even
Go out of his
if
box.
if you know who Gary is and the world that he personally lives in, for him to bring Gary V in was amazing because they are 2 different people.
Well, and in the other piece of that is every speaker that's up there has like the utmost respect for Gary Keller,
Yes.
right? So they're like the best of the best in their realm, right? Whether it's media, whether it's motivational speaking, they all have so much respect for him, which just says a lot about the company in general.
I
Yeah.
think what you see is these speakers, the people that we're getting and the Gary Kellers, the thing that we can take away from it, honestly, is truly striving to be the best at what you're doing as often as possible. I mean, for the longest time, I've looked at sales as, it's your Super Bowl. You have one shot, how often? And I got in the business in sales as a one call close business. I was a tin man, if you know what that movie is, where I got into home sales, walk into somebody's house and try to sell windows or siding. And they either threw my briefcase out the front door with me or I left with the contract. That was the only 2 ways you left. And from that, I just, came to the conclusion that, yeah, you do have one shot. People, oh, well, let's think about it. Be back, don't buy dinner. I mean, so in this business, giving it everything you have and being ready for the moment that you get on stage. Huge.
All right, what else? Who else?
I would say, just as I was reviewing my notes, we had so many different personalities, so many different types of people on the stage, but there was just the overall theme. The ultimate takeaway that I came up with is to be authentically you, yet flexible. So showing up as who you are, bringing your expertise to the table, but being able to be flexible in the moment. Speaking to somebody in their language was a really big quote that Jay Shetty said that really resonated with me. So showing up on the camera, showing up in person, whatever that is. So Gary V, Giselle, and Chelsea Kietz all had that same theme of just show up on camera, be you. But then Jay Shetty and Don Miller were speak to people in their language. How do you use your words to get through to them? So be you, get flexible is kind of the theme I took away.
Yeah, and that exercise, he legitimately had the 11,000 people get out of their seats and move around the actual. Yeah, like he was like, if you're this, move to your left, all the way to the left of the room. And I thought that like everyone was about to have a heart attack because you just saw people getting up and moving. And it,
How many people were there? There was like 13,000?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it was masses of people moving. Yeah.
Can I say from watching that from the market center, I was really surprised when actually people were moving. I was like, they're doing it.
No, like, yeah, like we moved, we got up and did it. Yeah.
Some of us didn't move. I didn't.
Was it, you can actually make somebody.
Scott and I got right up in
Yeah.
the front. We're like, and we are here, we're right there.
It's crazy how ask the right way, you can get people to move the way you want to move. Think about that. I mean, if I ask this question the right way, I can get these people to do what I need them to do and what is the right thing to do. So it's, asking that question right. Yeah, people will move in the direction that you ultimately need them to go.
Yeah.
I also
Yeah.
was a little nervous. I was like, oh my goodness, there's a lot of people moving around. But yeah, it was interesting to see from not being there.
You next, Bethany?
Okay. I took a lot of notes, but one that just really stood out to me was a quote, AI only replaces you if you use it to replace you. And so leverage AI to multiply you, not to replace you. This is, I don't even know what number family reunion for me, probably 12. And I went into family reunion very focused on, I knew the two topics I needed to get the most out of were going to be social and then scale. And so with social, that's kind of the breakouts that I focused on. Plus, obviously, there was this whole day focused on social. And I shared with Jess, our director of optics, that was really validating for me the money that we put into social the last couple months. Because it truly is one thing that I shared. I think it was Gary G. I didn't write who said this. But we basically have 5 to 7 more years of the golden era of free attention. And so what can you create now in the next 5 to 7 years that will like long live past? Not that I plan on quitting real estate in 7 years, but like it's going to continue to generate more business for you. I have a YouTube video that I made. I'm like a baby in the video. I think I'm 22 or 23. And that stupid video has thousands and thousands of views. And I kick myself for not staying consistent on YouTube because I just didn't see the immediate results of it. And so now I actually signed up for Giselle's class and a YouTube class so that both I'm dialed into for the next 30 days. Because I think it's easy to get jacked up at these events, but then what are you actually doing to implement what you learned?
Well, and to that point, like when you're saying it's free, right? Gary Vee kind of made this joke a little bit like, hey, did you put your face on a bus bench? Did you, hand out a flyer? All of those things cost money. Like no matter what it is, did you send out a letter, whatever, right? It all costs money. And the thing that is free today is social media.
And it's not gonna be.
Like you can post whatever you want and you're not getting charged for social media. Yeah, you can do ads, but it's free right now. And there's like some stopgap that people just aren't using it, right?
Another quote I wrote down is relevance leads to consideration. Consideration leads to the purchase. And so am I being relevant to I think we should all have a desired avatar of who our perfect friend is. Like Scott and Jessica work in luxury, right? New construction. So like they can lift out their perfect avatar. But for some of us, I'll speak for myself, when I've helped first time home buyers to every, the full spectrum of people, I really need to hone in on who's my desired avatar, who do I enjoy working with the most, and then create the content that is relevant to those people, because then I will attract those people.
One of the things to piggyback off your statement about the video that you posted a long time ago. So Facebook is my social media go-to that I scroll forever on. YouTube became a big popular thing at the convention. They talked about YouTube and the YouTube shorts and all that they're gonna. So I went on YouTube and I'm in real estate and I'm thinking I put in Lake Minnetonka or something, real estate. And what's interesting, and they talk about the timing being constant, because I'm getting, oh my gosh, and these beautiful houses come up And then I look at the date and here it's like, this is 3 years ago. This house was on a YouTube video 3 years ago. And because it's still there, it continues to get hits. So this 3-year-old house, and so if that's your video, even though it's not a current listing, all of a sudden it comes up and your, whatever you did on there that drew their attention can obviously bring them over to your current information. But I was so surprised that stuff, how it hangs around. So some of these videos that are 5 years old they've been now built on their hits, so they're at the top of the hit. So what are you posting that's gonna 5 years from now still be relevant?
So be in your video.
Yeah, and be relevant for future, not just for today.
Okay, who else?
I can go. Donald Miller told us the story structure, and that kind of stood out to me, just basically that your client should be the hero of the story, and you as the realtor should be the guide. So not trying to make yourself be the hero, like, I did this for you. Aren't you so happy that I, got this deal for you? You should be guiding them into this part of their life that makes them feel more in control and have everything.
That also ruined every story that I'm ever gonna watch now. Like, I watched a movie and I was like, that wasn't the hero, that was the guy. And I was really mad about
He
it
was
right
the
after
one
that.
that surprised me the most. When he first came up on stage, I thought, oh gosh, he's gonna lose me.
Indiana Jones's dad.
And I have 10 people on the left and I have 10 people on the right, and I can't get up and go get something to drink, so I'm stuck. And he surprised me so much. I
I mean,
highly
he was even
recommend
kind
his
of
book.
funny.
Yeah, highly recommend his book, and just the words that you can use, whether it's in your marketing or in your conversation with your clients, can make a huge difference in whether you have a successful sale or not.
Yeah, he was saying that people get bored when you use big words.
Yeah.
Like, people don't know what an appraisal is or what earnest money is, so when you keep it simple and clear, they feel more comfortable.
Well, he broke it down to 3 words,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Kids love aquarium.
yeah, tell that story.
So you're supposed to have like a tagline that's super duper simple. So what he did a story about how he helped a corporation, and the tagline ended up being "Kids Love Aquarium," and it worked.
It increased their sales by like 99% or something within a 6-month period of time. Because it was like, kids love
Tagline,
aquariums,
kids
I'm gonna take my kid to the aquarium, right? Like, we are actually pretty simple as human beings. Like, I mean, it resonates and then you do it, right? Yeah, that was a really good one.
Tell them your magic words.
Yeah.
Magic word.
Yep.
Get your magic words.
Do you think Phil Jones got mad at that in the audience when he said magic words? Because I feel like that's his tagline. I was concerned for Phil. All right, what else?
I'll go through some of my notes. So I just kind of went through my notes, and it was a lot about videos. It was, the first day was called Social Media Con. There's no breakouts. It was a morning session, afternoon session, and their speakers were just every single one of them, like everyone had said. But the first one, talked about just consistently delivering value. Name your you. Who is the person you're talking to? Just like what Bethany said, you got to know who that is. And then it's always about your you. It's always about your you. Speaking to them in the language they can understand. They said you would not know this, but first-time home buyers don't know what an appraisal, pre-qual, they don't know what any of that means. So when you're saying that, you could be completely talking over their head. Bring the energy, don't let them see you sweat. What meaning are you attaching to yourself? And no filter, show the real you, like is what she said. And yeah, mine too with Donald Miller was the magic words. And again, he said, you're probably talking over your clients' heads. You've got to keep it simple. So post them all the time, post them often. This was, I believe, V that said post on all platforms. Said there's 7 platforms you should be posting on. You can post that same video with a little bit of editing to all the different 7 platforms: YouTube Shorts, Twitter, Substack, Facebook, Instagram. Look, I don't even know what they are. So, get more content. Do not use puppies and babies. Use neighborhood and home information. That's, and then Then after lunch, there was that guy, remember, that showed you how to make the video. So he was super cool. He said you have 1.7 seconds is how much time you had to grab them.
Poor guy had to go after Gary Vee.
So, yeah.
Crushed
Was it-
it though, yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
This is how you edit your video to
Yep.
make this thing
That was nuts. That
Yeah,
guy,
and
like,
we will
what-
show, we've got to show all those slides or send them out, but he said you have 1.7 seconds. That's how much time you have to grab them. Your phone settings should be a wide angle, 0.5 zoom out, highest resolution, 60 FPS. Your DR toggle should be off. I don't know what that means.
But he's gonna, but he's got a
Should be
video,
off.
he's got a video with 80 million views.
He showed us how to make a video of you jumping over your house.
Yeah.
We can show that.
It doesn't go
You tripped?
I tried.
And that's not what the black eye came from.
But you should still post it because that was the authentic moment.
Honestly, everyone will laugh at it.
Yeah, you'll probably get more.
Can't wait to see it.
Yeah. But we are so excited to
One
see it.
thing they said is if you want engagement, you must be a better engager. Yeah. So, and I have John Shetty notes, but we talk about it. Jay Shetty.
There's a lot of social media talk. The thing that I found most interesting was an investor breakout that I went to.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Mr. Social Media
No,
down
so-
there.
So there's a team leader there that had two of his agents in the room that would do 100 deals apiece with just 2 investor clients. And the nice thing about it is you get both sides of the deal, right? You get commission on the buy and then you relist it and get another. There was another lady in the room that it gets 5 listings a quarter from the same 5 investors. And I had a listing, I think last fall. And, I was just about to sell it to a buyer that ended up, his agent jumped in the last second. It pissed me off. So I went and found an investor, sold it to him instead, and then I got to relist it as well. So that kind of got me interested in that. So I
The
thought I'd do
investment
that.
side of it.
Right.
Cool. All right, Ben.
All right, let's see. Well, first of all, if you haven't been to family reunion, you should go to family reunion. If you've been, you should go again because it's amazing. It's a ton of fun. You'll learn a lot. 10 out of 10. I've got some tangible things I'd love to share. I'll move quick. I'll have a number of items, but if you need me to stop, just let me know or we can just.
No, your notes are so great. Like you take photos in it and like your notes are,
If you need anything, let me know.
your notes are 10 out of 10.
I did. But let's see. Thanks. Let's see.
Maybe we just like put it up on like.
No, we don't want to do that.
that.
Let's see. And so a tangible thing is when you're doing a video, say you in the first sentence versus you guys versus everyone. Say you so that you're speaking directly to that person. It will be a lot more fruitful. Tell people what you want them to think about you and how to share your name. Because like people that they will do what you share. You just have to tell them what to do, right? Stories are the best way to share. People choose the people they understand. I think we all make things more complicated in our posts to try and sound smarter, and we don't necessarily need to do that in order to accomplish the same goal of building a relationship with the person on the other side that's watching it. Give permission to buyers. A lot of times all they need, mainly buyers, but can be sellers too. Give permission to buyers to do what is best for them, right? Like sometimes buyers just need permission to spend that much money. It's not that they're overspending or anything. They just need permission from someone to do something, right? They need that advocate for them. So tell them it's a good home for them at this address and it's worth that much money. Sometimes that's all they need to be able to commit to the purchase. Post more content, right? That's the big thing. Be on 7 to 8 platforms, like Heather and everyone else was saying. Gary was saying 51% of the time should be spent making content, which I thought was incredible. I mean, we got 2 leads in the last week from TikTok, right? And so we haven't been, and I think that's something that we can even step up more and have been working on, where we're going to be able to get a lot more leads through that social media.
But what did he say to Gary Keller when Gary Keller was like 51% of your time making content, right? And he's like, I would argue that 51% of your time is wasted in a day or in a week, right? That you're doing things you don't need to be doing at all. And part of that was like, if you're a working mom or if you're whoever you are, right? And you're posting that daily thing, people follow those daily things. I mean, people watch like Get Ready With Me. I don't want to see anyone poke their eyeball out while they're doing makeup, but people watch that, right? Because it's entertaining. You can do that. And it's like 51% of your time should be thinking about like, what are you doing on a daily basis and sharing that with people. Because we all know that that's wasted in numerous ways, either trying to make it perfect or scrolling or thinking, ooh, here's the next best thing, right? And then there's no action.
And they were pushing us to use Gemini just because that's the one that's likely the big one that if someone's searching who's the best realtor in Minnetonka, that's the one that we want to be pouring our information into just because that tends to be the most commonly used.
Well, Gemini is attached to Google, and Google like is where they're getting all of their information, where chat pulls from Google, but like Gemini feeds right into Google.
And we all have free Google work accounts, our KW.
Correct.
Yeah, trade your iPhone for Google Help.
And Gemini pulls from YouTube. So do
Yep.
shorts.
Yep.
So that's something we'll be adding in. Let's see. We need to, yeah, of course, like post your targeted ads for proximity, of course, that's a great thing. Because that's where your clients are going to be. Don't be spending money elsewhere. Be a super fan of other people's posts. It was interesting that carousel posts are the only ones that will show up twice versus if you do a single photo post, that'll only show up once. Reels only show up once, but carousels show up twice. So I thought that was cool. Get people to share your stuff. You'll reach more people in new networks. Post how I do this videos. People want to see how we do things or how to do things, whether they're house related or not. Comment. And let's see. I like I went to a class on kind of how to take care of your clients at the highest level, and they related it to birthdays. And so they use Slide Out to send out a voicemail that feels personal to them for their birthday, on their birthday every day. It's a different voicemail to your first. They email on the half birthdays. It's automatic through command. They email 1 month before the birthday a list of all the free things that they're able to get on their birthday, right? So,
Their birthday or their birthday.
A bunch of free stuff. So just kind of cool reasons to help people. Oh, I thought one was cool that they did a bunch of Valentine's Day reservations at places and then emailed out to their sphere and said, who didn't get a Valentine's Day reservation? I've got a list of these, right? So it's like, who hasn't been there before? So I'll stop there, but that was the majority of stuff. The rest go.
All right, what else?
Everyone should definitely go.
One thing just to piggyback off of what Ben and you had shared. So Gary Vee did say like 51% of your time should be spent creating content. And to lean into that, become a professional problem seeker. If you understand their problems, they'll trust you with the solutions. So starting a note in my phone around like when people ask me a question, that's actually the prompt for what I should make a video about. And so that's how I think you really could have 51% of your time be content creation, because we're actually consistently producing content all the time if we're using our time well. And then comfort is the #1 buyer emotion. Only 7% of buyers felt the process was straightforward. So didn't feel like it was straightforward, didn't feel comforted, like that's the opportunity. So how do we make it super straightforward and make sure they feel like they're being taken care of?
I'm just going, here's what comes next. What the next step looks like.
What else?
And I think to talk about the you thing, I know like when I've posted my LDK videos in the past, I've always gone on there and like, oh my gosh, what they said this. I'm always, hey, Facebook friends. Now that's how I start my LDK friends or Facebook friends, whatever, versus the, you know, being direct to a specific person by saying you is so much. I'm like,
If you're nervous about
Oh, that's great.
posting, making a video,
To a big group.
to a big group, you can use someone's name in that group. So if I want to put it out a video about new construction, well, I can say, hey, Scott, I've got this amazing new construction home in downtown Wayzata, and start with someone's name
He's
and
only talking to me then.
yeah,
Not
and then just edit
Gary.
that part out. So just edit out their name. So I'm saying, hey, Scott,
So big, yeah.
super excited to let you know about this home in downtown Wayzata.
So talk to your mom or talk to somebody
Yeah.
you're very comfortable with on your video and then just clip their name off it and you have the video versus getting there and knowing you're talking to the world. Like, oh.
Right. That's more daunting.
Fun trick.
Any other ahas?
This was one where I had about the social media, was balance your content, personal expertise in sales. But your personal should be kind of with what your product is. So your favorites in the neighborhood, shops, restaurants, things that you enjoy in the neighborhood, your expertise, knowledge of the neighborhood, staff, schools, things like that. And then the sales is showing your product. So you still have some personal stuff in there, but it's the small talk, and then your big talk is on the expertise in sales.
Yeah, it doesn't always have to be about your sales or real estate. It can be about what are the top 5 coffee shops to open up your laptop in downtown Wayzata.
Yep.
And then go to those 5 places. Like just be the mayor of your niche in your town.
One speaker said that small talk leads to the big talk. So when you're talking just about something relatable like that, that then goes into how you're the expert in that area, then goes into your sales. So she actually gave us just like those prompts to be able to create content around. So that you're starting with the small talk, you're posting that once or twice a week. You get to post it out, the goal is to get searches, shares, and trust in that expertise bucket. And then into sales is the prompts and the proof. So you're prompting somebody to contact you, or it's a proof that you've already accomplished that. So that was a really cool layout for content calendars for the month or something like that.
And I thought one other thing that was interesting was that you could have a brand new, say, Instagram, Facebook, something. You could be doing your very first post and it could have 1 million views. And that's because the algorithm within it has changed so much than before. It used to be the number of followers you have, the number of, interactions you did. But no, it's really what's in your content as to what's being pushed out, because it's going to push what you've been interested in. And so this algorithm, it's like you just have to hit the trigger words that other people are searching or interested in, and it's going to pull your video up. Whether you have 0 followers and 0 likes, you could reach a lot of people.
So all I've heard on the social media stuff is it's all about self-promotion and brand promotion. Was there anything about like promoting a property?
Not a ton. It was more of, and it's not even, I think, self-promotion as being the problem solver, right? Like, they don't want you to be like, hey, I sold these houses, right? I think that was what it's getting away from, is like, unless you're telling a story about that client, right? Like, hey, guess what? I just helped Matt and his family buy a, 3-bedroom, 4-bath. Here's the story. We met back when we were in elementary school, then we reconnect. You know what I mean? Like, there's a story with it. But not as much of like property marketing.
With Chelsea speaking, that was the personal, the expertise, the sales. The sales was they are just sold, right?
Yep.
And that's your proof that you completed, the work and that you are the expert because you filled these buckets up to that point. So she did include.
That's like promoting yourself, right? Like, hey, look at me, I'm good at what I do. I'm wondering how we use social media to actually like promote our property and represent our seller.
Can I give you an idea?
Yeah.
So, I feel like every property has an opportunity and usually a problem. So example, we had a property that we actually sold off of YouTube, where it's on Lake Sarah and it had not been updated. And so we created a video, and actually video links, depending on what platform you're posting to, the video link should be different. So if it's on TikTok, Instagram, those platforms, it should be under a minute. If it's on YouTube, it should actually be between 7 and 12 minutes. which is crazy, but the engagement and the length of the time that people are watching is how YouTube goes, hey, people like this video, let's keep having it show up. So the Lake Sarah tour that I did, I cast a vision of how someone could remodel that property. Because the opportunity, live on Lake Sarah. Problem, it's an ugly freaking house with tons of walls, and it just, like it was so boxy and the kitchen was awful.
Great neighborhood though.
Yeah. And
They loved living in it though, the people that sold
well,
it.
they raised their they raised their family there. And with the seller's permission, I said, hey, here's how we need to market your home. Is that it's an opportunity for someone to fix it up. Some people are going to tell you not to focus on that. It's actually what we should focus on. And we sold it in multiples. I ended up representing the buyer. They found it on YouTube. And they said, we loved the way that you cast the vision. I even had like contractor estimates and things like that. So I think that you can market listings by figure out what's the problem and what's the opportunity and then speak to that.
And the solution.
Is how I would leverage literally everything they talked about and just make it about a property.
I also did the same thing with that property on the busy road that you just sold.
Yeah. Well, it's we actually just, okay, so this is a different example. My business partner, Jordan, had a property in Dayton on the market and it didn't get traffic. And I was like, well, let me reread the description with you. And so as he and I read the description, and this is actually where I think AI, we don't want it to replace us, but we want to leverage it. And I was like, Jordan, who do you think is going to buy this house? One level living home in Dayton. We're competing with new construction, blah, blah, blah. 2 bedrooms on the main level. He goes, well, either someone like my sellers, where they were dual income, no kids when they bought it, or an elderly couple, right? Because they want one level living. Nowhere in our listing were we, because obviously you have to be careful because you can't use certain terms, but nowhere in our listing were we actually really in the description, were we focusing on that. We changed the verbiage and then we got it sold. So it's like, are you using the right terms and the descriptions and then using that in your marketing to actually attract the buyer? I learned that from Carrie Schmitz, is we should be going into every listing appointment going, who is the buyer of this home? And if you focus on all of your marketing towards the buyer of the home, you will attract that person.
And it does seem like it was always talking about ourselves. They really said, don't use the word I. We should never use the word I in any of our videos. It should always be about you and your audience.
Yeah. Anything else? I wanted to end, and you guys can have questions after this, but I think Jay Shetty was absolutely amazing. And if you haven't read the book, you should. But he broke down conscious mindset versus a coach mindset and like the 4 pieces of a conscious mindset, right? And one was thankfulness. And it said that I wrote down, you can't have an anxious thought and a grateful thought at the same time, right? So like when you're sitting there and we all get like anxious about whatever, we have these negative thoughts, you can't actually have that anxious thought and a grateful thought at the same time. So when you find yourself in that position, like catch yourself and then think about something that you're grateful for. And it just said, make whatever you are grateful for, express specific and personalize the thought. He actually gave a challenge of the next 7 days, sending some gratitude to one person professionally and personally. It was an eye-opener to me. I sent it to my daughter, and I don't think I send my kids enough gratitude, right? Like we do different things, and she responded like, I can't believe that you took the time to say this to me, right? And I'm guessing I'm not alone on that if I'm a parent, a partner, or anybody else, right? We don't thank people enough specifically on who they are to you or what they do to you, right? And this doesn't have to be business, but if you do have a client that you're like, I am so grateful for you, when's the last time you actually reached out to them and told them? Maybe you guys do it all the time, right? But if you don't, think about that, right? And just really specifically thank someone or tell them why you're grateful for them. It goes a long way. And I think, right now with everything that's going on in social media and everything else, that's important. And then, like insight, right? When I sent that to you guys about Matthew McConaughey, it's essentially, he goes into even himself where he's like, I didn't have a hobby for 25 years. Like I thought writing was the hobby, but I didn't learn anything new. And we think like people always say, oh, time goes by really, really fast. Man, the years just go by, the years just go by. And it's because of routine. You get in a routine and then life goes by because you're not introducing anything new into your life. And when you can slow that down and introduce new stuff and you can continue to learn, it all kind of just calms you down and slows time down. And then mindfulness in the mornings, like name one thing, not 3 things, not 5 things, name one thing that would make that day great. One thing. If you did that one thing today and you went to bed at night, you could be happy and satisfied that you had a great day. And then at night, you actually celebrate, what did I do right? Right? I think a lot of times we reflect on the day. I sit and I reflect on the day, all the things I do wrong. And it actually sets your mood for the next day if you're reflecting on the wrong versus the right. So when you go to bed and you sit there and you maybe give it 5 minutes and say, these are the things that I did right, or this is the one thing I did right, it resets your brain for sleep, and then it resets you for the next day, which gives you energy in the morning. And then the last 2 things are just moving your body, which I thought was really interesting. You either exercise collaboratively or competitively, right? So like when I think of different things, like you either go and you're like into jazzercise class, looking ridiculous, burning a sweat, right? Or you're competing, like, and if you're not doing exercise in one of those ways, you will fail. Every time. Like you might last a certain amount of time, but you will fail. You will fail at doing that because you won't keep a consistent like way to do that, right? And collaboratively could be like I work out with my friend, or like, it could mean a whole bunch of things, but if you don't do it one of those ways, most likely you'll quit. And then the last one is just getting sleep. I just thought those were like great takeaways on mindset piece, because without any of those things, your business is not going to prevail at all, or you're going to be unhappy. You might be quote unquote successful monetarily, but you'll probably be unhappy. Yeah.
And we're going to go into the vision speech in a different meeting, because I know a couple people joined us for that, but we also had Jay Shetty here. And one thing, just to talk about what he said, was you either have an effective day or an efficient day. And I've really thought about that in starting my day since watching him, where it's like, okay, am I really going to pour a lot of time into this one thing and just really sink into it, right? And just do an awesome job at it? Or do I have all these little tasks that are bogging me down so I can't really focus on this one big thing? And maybe I'm just having an efficient day and I'm going to knock all these things out. And so really just categorizing my day in the morning has been kind of a cool thing, where it's like, okay, yep, I just got all these things done. Tomorrow I'm going to have an effective day and I'm going to just really learn this thing. So I think that's kind of a neat way to look at it too, of just deciding what your day is going to be.
Anybody have questions? Yeah.
Oh, I just have a comment about the gratitude. Our 24-year-old daughter has recently started telling my husband and I how much she appreciates us and like how much we feel so good.
Like all the years.
Like, just to piggyback off of that, just reaching out to one person, you know, that professionally and personally, how you're going to make their day. Like, I can't tell you, we're still living in the glow of that from like last week.
Well, and what he said is it not only makes your day, but it also helped her, right? Right? Like it's a two-way street of like giving gratitude and getting it. It makes both parties feel good and like resets that immune system.
And the relationship is better. It's tighter.
Yep.
It's like, you want to take your relationship? You're thankful.
Yeah, absolutely. Any questions that you guys have for us? Comments, ahas? Just so mind-blowing that we're just so quiet.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, John.
Oh, good. I've got a little cold, but I'll try to get through this. I think I missed one family reunion in 22 years. So, and every year they always say this is the best family reunion I've ever been to. I think this one did hit it, but I'm always looking forward to the next one because they're always better. So all of you should be put away a few $100 a month, and by the time family reunion comes around, it won't be a big financial strain on you. The biggest thing I go every year is just to hear Gary. The guy is a real estate genius, and his vision speech and what he tells us happened in the marketplace and is going to happen in the marketplace. I mean, every year the guy's right on. So it's worth every minute. And with each one of the speakers, I always enjoy his little interview after the speech because he brings more out of those speakers than what, he asks them the things that I think we want to hear. So that's a real plus. And then last, we went out a couple times as a group, and I gotta say, I learned things about these people that I can't repeat in this room. So
Might have been the have but never game that we all
yeah,
played.
no, that was quite interesting. So, but it's a
John was out
unbelievable
first.
time.
You were out first, John.
What's that?
You were out first in the have I never.
That's right.
Yeah.
I've done it all.
Awesome. Awesome. Any other questions, comments?
Any ideas for how those of us who aren't naturally social media moguls can get our head better in the game? Honestly, it's not that I'm resistant, it's that I don't even think of it. And you can say it all these times, but I'm like in the moment with whoever I'm with, and I don't think social media. So any tips you have to help fix my brain?
I would say, maybe start with, you can look at hiring a content creator, or talk to someone in their 20s, or you might have a niece or nephew, or someone that when you're scrolling, what posts do you gravitate to, and just ask for help, and then go from there. I'm the same way. I don't bring out my phone when I'm having a conversation with someone, or we'll go look at stuff and I kick myself because I'm like, oh gosh, I should have gotten that on video. That would have been so good. So really just being mindful of, taking your phone out and
Also understand recording have to be part of your business. Like they said, you should do 51% of your time content creating, right? So if you work 8 hours a day, that's 4 hours a day. So I would challenge you that if that's not natural to you, spend 2 hours calling, you will do more business than the 51%.
Yeah, everyone's different.
So it doesn't have to.
You gotta pick your thing, right?
Either. So,
Well, it's not that I don't like it, it's just honestly, Matt, it doesn't occur to me.
yeah, I'm with you. Yep. No.
Well, and I think
don't
the piece is if the people you work with, that's not where the people that you want to work with either, right? Then it's not gonna do anything, right? But if you're like, this is who I want to reach out to and I want those as my clients, then no, you can't not do it, right? Like, so those are very different things. But if you're like, hey, I'm cool with this way of lead genning or this way of getting myself out there, then do that. But you just have to pick something. And it just so happens this time, people all scare away when you're like doing calls, doing door knocking, like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that because I don't feel natural doing that. Well, now they did this. Now it's like, this gives the opportunity that the people that want to do this, now they have the tools to do it. Right?
I would challenge.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say, I have a social media calendar. So like I know I want to post 3 times a week. Now that's gonna be up, but I want to post this, this, and this in this week. So I need to now hit those calendar items. Like I always live by my calendar with the time block and everything. So it's like making that content calendar for the month helps to remind me, oh, I need to do that. I need to film something or I need to create that post. So I hit that. And then now with like the notes we have, she gave us very tangible. She gave us 50 weeks worth of content we could create just following this formula of like the buckets to go, right? So, and I'm happy to share it in my notes. So I think that is helpful for me to just have a calendar of like, oh, I need to post it.
I would challenge you though, Wendy, that I don't agree with Matt. I think everyone should be using social media because it's the way to build your database. It is. And it's the way to engage with your database in a very passive way. So as you're doing other lead gen activities, so let's say you do want to call for 2 hours, I would do something as simple as take a selfie and put the text like calling for my sellers to find a buyer for their home. Like those things are things that our clients actually want to see us doing. If you're door knocking, just take a simple picture. It doesn't have to all be video, but then with videos, you said you just did an event. It would have been super easy to like scan the room and do a couple pictures and make a video that's like, hey, thanks for coming to our event. We look forward to whatever. So I would say don't overcomplicate it. Just work the muscle of being like, what am I doing today that I can create content for? And I usually don't post my posts the day I take the content. Like I'm just constantly trying to take content and then later go, how can I use this in my business? Because I think that's where a lot of people mess up is they think, well, I took a video, but oh my gosh, I don't have time to make it look pretty or to do it right now. Then don't do it right now. Have time on your calendar that you can make it look pretty. And then to Alex's point, post it later. Like my stuff's never the same day.
I think that's huge, the content, you create a lot of these videos and you look at them yourself and they're like, yeah, that's kind of ho-hum. But when you watch Stephen Womack and how you can take a plain Jane video and turn it into something that's mind blowing with all these different opportunities that are online, that makes you, okay, this can be kind of exciting.
Well, and two things, you gotta start somewhere, right? You gotta start somewhere with these things, right? So it's not like you're gonna go out and you're gonna spend a whole bunch of money and it's like, guess what? I have all the social media now. Like you have to start somewhere. And the biggest thing I remember Gary Vee saying is you're not in middle school anymore, right? So like, you're like, oh, but someone's going to tell me I look fat or, oh, you're wearing whatever. Like, who cares? Because it happens, right? And there's like the trolls that comment on things like post it, forget about it and let it ride. And I think Giselle said the same thing. Like, oh, I only had 3 likes on that. Should I erase it? Should I not erase it? Who cares? Just move on with your life. You post it and you go ahead. I can't tell you how many times people comment random stuff and I'm like, cool, unfollow me then, right? Like I don't need you in my life at that point in time. Or get your kicks off of it because it gets you excited and you can say something mean, like either one, right? So you just have to start and just go with who you are because you're going to resonate with the people that want to be a part of your life. And that's who's important.
One other thing that I thought was really funny from a breakout session I went to is they had 3 people up on stage at the breakout, and Nick Waldner, who was leading it. If you want to be good at YouTube, go follow Nick Waldner's page. He's out of Maryland. But he asked each of them to say what's one of the meanest comments someone has posted on their video. And like this one guy you could tell he had been born maybe with like a cleft lip. And so he like commented on, how people made fun of his face. And he goes, but here's the great part is for any time someone says anything negative and comments on my video, he goes, I just wait about 24 hours and then I reply to the comment like, thanks, bro, or something like that. Because then people that have also commented on the video actually get an email from YouTube.
That's
and he goes,
huge.
so it increases the views that he gets on his videos.
So wait 24 hours before replying. That was huge, I remember that.
And by the way, when someone sees it, then everyone else comments and is like, whatever. And then it just feeds the video.
I've got followers on Instagram, but I don't even know how to use it.
Jackie, it might not be your thing, or we could like get you connected with Alex and Jack.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of clients that are not on any social media for privacy reasons. So yeah, you need to be able to connect to each client differently.
But there's people here that don't know how to help you.
Yeah.
Question, you said it's free now, but it won't be in 5 to 7 years. Can you tell me more about what that means and how, like, I'm trying to visualize a world in which like Facebook isn't free. I mean, right now it's cluttered, it's more ads almost than other stuff, but.
Once we get you, your Facebook is like, it's your mojo. What if tomorrow Facebook says your Facebook account now costs you $1.99 a month, you're gonna quit Facebook?
Well.
Well, sure. But I see what I just said, that's what's gonna happen, it's gonna be all good. There's a $1.99 a month. There's a $1.99.
You want to come up?
Thank you, guys.
Second, we got a sponsor and food, so.
So, you know, I don't, I think other people have run into the situation, you're dealing with either house you're selling or house that you're helping somebody buy. And you get into the windows, you get into the shower glass or something like that. And I've always looked at windows as being really complicated and you gotta buy a whole new window. Didn't even realize that you can just take that window pane out, put a new window pane in. That's just me. I didn't realize that was a thing. And, you just save thousands of dollars. I had it done at my house. They did a great job. I had old school wooden windows and then I had some modern windows that were vinyl. They were able to pop that out, put everything back together. You wouldn't even know it even happened. And since then, I've been able to turn that on to a couple clients that they were buying a house or selling. And that was kind of like a showstopper. The guy goes, oh, the windows are bad. We got this thing. And everybody got kind of nervous. Says, you know, I can drop literally nothing into that and get a new window pane. It's over. So with that being said, I introduced Dan from Glass Source and he kind of tell you a little bit more.
That was a great intro, Bob.
I don't mean to say anything more, but you guys don't want to eat and stuff, but I thank Bob for giving me the chance to get out here, but it is true. A lot of people don't realize you can just replace the glass and windows, get that ugly foggy window out of the view. If you have somebody coming in and looking at a house and they see that, they're gonna go, what else is wrong here? Maybe I want to inspect it. Shower doors, if you have a bathroom that's all grungy and gross, that's gonna be a turn off. So you're looking at around $5,000 to $2,000 for a window versus a shower to invest in that house to hopefully sell it, not have people questioning things. We can polish it up pretty nicely. Generally takes about a week and a half to 2 weeks to get product to replace it. So there's a little timeline there. We've been in business since 2004. As a small company, I have 10 employees. We do auto glass as well, but we don't need to worry about that here.
Like windshields or car windows.
Windshields,
Look
car
at your
windows.
numbers, seems that happens often to me.
Yeah, perfect. So, if it's,
Replace just a single pane if it's a dual pane, like if the exterior one is broken.
good question. Actually, you have to replace both because there's a drying agent in between that once that window cracks, moisture gets in there. You could try to replace it. It's gonna
The
fail.
insurance agent told me to replace just the exterior. I don't think that's good.
You have to replace both, but it's a easy process.
Wait, so you do both panes and then there's the gas inside?
Yep. And
Okay.
it's not always gas. It's just there's a desiccant sand in the airspace that keeps that airspace dry and clear.
Awesome.
How much does it cost? Or like, what is the cost comparison to do that versus replacing a window? And I know that's already.
No, it's hundreds of dollars versus thousands. So a full replacement, I bet if for that window, it's probably gonna be about $5,000 to $6,000. If you took both windows off, put a new one in, you gotta deal with siding, you gotta deal with interior work. It's a huge hassle. This, we're just taking the glass out, reusing what you have and making. I did leave a pile of cards back there if you guys want to grab one. I do all the estimating, so if you call the office, don't call myself. My cell phone's
I
on
like
there.
that. Boundaries.
They'll get you set up. I can usually come out same day or next day. I travel the whole 494 6 days. So, if you have a client, I'm gonna jump for you guys. I can do about 10 estimates a day and love to get to work.
Lead time?
About a week and a half. Roughly.
So for my situation, it was about $12,000 versus $1,800. And it was like, I didn't have, the wood all looks great. I mean, I was questioning how they're gonna put it back together and it just, they know what they're doing. It was amazing.
And we do warranty the windows for 10 years against foggy stuff. But yeah, I'll stick around if you guys have individual questions. Otherwise, please grab a card there. And if you do have a question later on, feel free to call myself. If I don't answer, I'll call you right back.
Awesome. Thank you.
Reminder, wants and needs to Lydia by 2:00 so she can email those out. And grab some lunch. And then grab some lunch. Thanks, everybody.